Another day, another set of World Cup results done, and we have finalisations of two groups, and we have our first two knockout round games confirmed. We'll start with Group A, which had Ecuador, Senegal, and Netherlands, Qatar. We'll start with the Netherlands, Qatar game because we can just quickly run through that. Netherlands, again, not that impressive. Obviously, they were supposed to dominate this game, but apart from the De Jong shot, they didn't have much going for them. But Gakpo, again, really good finish by him. Easily been their best player at the tournament. 3 goals in 3 games, goal in each game. But yeah, again, they failed to create many good opportunities. Like Gakpo's been scoring, but they've been low quality shots, which is really good for him. But if you're paying out, you don't really want to be relying on that. But it's also good that you know you can rely on that, but you don't want to be. But yeah, Qatar in the second half, I think Netherlands kind of just allowed them to play. But also, they just weren't that good. They did make a few changes in the second half, but Netherlands they were good. They obviously didn't allow Qatar anything, 0.1 for XG for Qatar. Didn't allow them anything, but again, you expect Netherlands to actually smash Qatar, and they just didn't do that. Maybe that's playing like the De Bruyne in midfield. Maybe that's planning for the knockouts, but playing Martin De Bruyne in midfield against Qatar, you could easily just play Berghuis there, or Kenneth Taylor, just a better ball player than De Bruyne. I've opened up creativity. Memphis didn't have the best of the games. He was a bit quiet, a bit sloppy on the ball at times, but it's his first start in quite a while. Yeah, Qatar are out in their first tournament. No wins. They got a goal at least, so that's good for them, but no wins. 3-1 loss, 2-0 loss, and another 2-0 loss. Not a great showing for them. And yeah, Netherlands now top the group because of 2 wins and a draw. And it's finally the first match they've won on XG against Qatar. Congratulations to them. Then we'll just look at Ecuador, Senegal. Very strange, because Ecuador have been really good. They haven't been like full-blood attacking teams, like defensive, but off the ball. But they've been like conservatively decent, like mid-block. We won't allow many chances. They haven't allowed many chances, but they allowed Netherlands 2 shots on goal. Qatar barely anything. It was like 0.4 XG combined in them 2 games, and then for some reason this game they went out full-blown attack. And they didn't need to, because all they needed was a draw. They went 4-3-3 and just went high press, and Senegal were really good in the first half because of that. They had mountains of chances. Idrissa Gueye had a couple, Dia had a couple, Sarr had a couple, and Dia had a couple. It was really, really strange, and they were just getting absolutely paid for it. It was one of the strangest decisions you ever see, because they didn't need, if they needed to win, then yeah, fair enough, but a draw and a win would have took them through. But they weren't really attacking, and at the end of the first half they got a penalty, and Sarr put away a very good penalty by him. Yeah, in the first half, 1.58 XG, that's obviously 0.8 of that for a penalty, but 0.09 to Ecuador. It's just so strange. Very, very strange. It's mental. Maybe he tried to catch them off. I don't know what it was, but Senegal had enough quality just to play through it. And yeah, second half, Ecuador did come back into the game. They were better in the second half. They got their goal through Casado. Then straight away, Koulibaly comes in the back post and gets the winner. You thought, this is going to be a game now. Senegal are going to attack. Ecuador are now going to go sit deep. They didn't have time to sit deep because straight away they conceded again and they had to go attack again. Mental. It was just such a strange decision. Just to go, from the first minutes, you can tell that they were going all out attack and go flying up the field, and there were so many gaps open. It was so strange. They played so well against Netherlands. They played similar against Netherlands, but it was more conservatively similar. They had no respect for Senegal. They had more respect probably for Qatar off the ball than they did for Senegal. It's just so strange. And yeah, they got knocked out of the World Cup because of that. Finally, someone that wasn't in the Valencia scored for them, Moises Caicedo. was it? Anyone else has scored the last 6 World Cup goals between this tournament and 2014. Yeah, good for Senegal. I mean, they probably didn't go into this game planning that, but they got the win they needed. All they could do to get through was a win, and Ecuador, they didn't gift them the win because they still had to do what they had to do, but they made it a lot easier for them. I'm sure they'll thank them after the game. Because I don't understand it, because Senegal do have players that can't work well in tight spaces. Like Idrissa Gueye, Ismail Assis, Papa Gueye can't really work well in tight spaces. They just opened that game completely up for them. Even like Koulibaly in tight spaces, on the halfway line, they're not very good. But they just allowed them space. Maybe they thought, we'll press their defenders so they can't work in tight spaces. They can't even get to midfielders, but they were just easily. It just didn't work. It wasn't cohesive at all, and they got absolutely punished for it. Absolutely punished, and they didn't deserve to get knocked out for that, but it was rained out. Ecuador had a good tournament, and they will be back, I think, because they've got quite a few good young players. Hincapié, Moises Caicedo, Sarmiento off the bench. They've got some good players. Obviously, Ender Valencia might be a bit too old for the next tournament to carry them the way he did 33. Maybe at a Copa America he can do something. Yeah, very strange. But Senegal into knockouts without Sadio Mane. Not many people were expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. Against their opponent, we'll talk about in a second, they could be trouble because, well, they've shown that they can play either way. And especially on the counter-attack, they look very dangerous. And we'll talk about their opponents right now. Wales, England. Wales 0, England 3. England in the first half, very dominant. Very dominant. Like 74% possession. Never really got a clear chance. Maybe the Rashford chance was the clear one. Kane putting him through, but a lot of possession, not much chance creation. But Wales were so passive. I think they were trying to see out the game until the 60th, 70 minutes, hoping that the Iran-USA game will be level and then they'll go bombard them in the last 10-20 minutes. And that worked in the first half because they just didn't go out. 26% possession, 2 shots on goal, 0.08 XG. They really didn't try in that first half to go forward at all. Didn't care. The ball would go up the pitch and they were just literally sitting in their own half again. But straight out of the second half, England blew them out of the water. Get a free kick, probably a bit lucky. Phil Foden dived a bit, but Rashford, perfect free kick, absolutely perfect free kick. He didn't go over the wall, went to keeper's side, into the top corner, put Daniel Ward on his back. And then straight away, Wales heads down. Rashford intercepts the ball from Davies. Kane picks up on the right hand side. Just didn't even look in the box. Just put it into the corridor of uncertainty, as they say. And Phil Foden was there in the back post. Yeah, Wales really didn't react well to that goal going in. It was sad to see, but also deserved. They really didn't play at all well. Maybe the plan wasn't just to go up the pitch, but also the players weren't good enough to get up the pitch. Like Aaron Ramsey, Joe Allen, and Purdue midfield were really bad. Gareth Bale went off at half time, but again had no effect on the game. Kiefer Moore couldn't get the ball at all, or when he got the ball, it wouldn't stick. But again, you've got to credit England. They actually high pressed this game and showed they can do it. Maybe it is against the poor Wales side, but they showed they can do it, and hopefully Gareth Southgate sees that. They've got energy players to do that. I like the midfield of Henderson, Burnham, Rice. A really good ball-winning midfield with a bit of quality as well. I prefer that midfield than to the one with Mason Mount in it. I really do. It's got that perfect experience. Jordan Henderson, young-ish Declan Rice, and young Jude Bellingham, but all got bundles of energy. All can run the whole 90 minutes. I really like that midfield. And then 68th minute, Marcus Rashford down the right-hand side. Nutmegs the defender, comes inside, shoots with the left foot. Nutmegs no defender, goes through his legs and then goes through the keeper's legs, make it 2-0, 3-0 actually. 2 goals for Rashford. I think that's him starting next. It has to start next game. In the first half, he was getting on the ball a lot. He was taking shots. He basically knocked out Nico Williams nearly, took him out of the game. But the quality wasn't there. But he was the only England player that actually got into any dangerous scenarios. And that includes maybe even the first 2 games. Like they were missing that guy who was just always constantly there. Maybe the quality wasn't there the whole time, but nobody was getting into scenarios over and over again. Rashford, it does that. I said it after the first couple of games. We need that player to play off Harry Kane. That Rashford is that player. Sterling wants the ball to feed Saka, wants the ball to feed Rashford. Doesn't care. He will run in behind, and he did that. And he's got the quality in the free kicks like that. Not many players in the squad do. And not many players have that individual quality to dribble by themselves. He does. He has the speed. He has the shot power. Really, really good player, and should be starting against Senegal in the next round. We'll talk about that one now. Interesting matchup. I'm assuming Senegal played really well against Netherlands, and Netherlands kind of play similar, but they play that again slow, not high press, not low block, but just try to contain the game, kind of tournament style football under Van Gaal. And if England aren't careful, Senegal will make them do the same. Senegal will make them play slow, make them play on with midfielders on halfway and play just between Stones and Maguire for the 45 minutes and then hit them on the counter at some point. Got to be careful of that. Senegal are well organised, they've got quality in their side, and they can just make England see how the game themselves just by making it a draw in a boring game and frustrating England. But with Senegal, their midfield isn't the best ball playing midfield. That's where you can get at them. Ball winning, yes, but on the ball they're not very good. So maybe high press can work. Like Ecuador, they did in the second half. They got better with it. But high press maybe can work because on the ball quality, Senegal aren't that good. They're not that good. But off the ball, they're also very dangerous. So England got to be wary of that. They've got to be wary. That Papagay, Idrissa Gueye, and number 10 pressing high at the pitch. It's a dangerous combo. That's something we've got to be worried about. But I expect England to go through. I assume we'll probably start Rashford. Got to start Rashford. I assume we'll probably start Sterling as well. And I want him to keep that midfield of Henderson, Rice, and Bellingham. And I probably prefer Kyle Walker right back to Kieran Trippier. I like Walker's contribution to side. A bit better containing counter-attacks with Kyle Walker. Just a bit more assurance there compared to Trippier. Yeah, but basically I just like this squad, exclude Foden. I'll probably play Saka ahead of Foden, but I assume Southgate will play Sterling. Yeah, a good result for England, and knockout game on Sunday against Senegal. Going to be a good game, unless Senegal do frustrate England like I said they can. It'll be a dangerous game for England. Easily can overlook them and look to the next round, but can't be doing that. And then the last game I talk about Iran and USA. USA are through to the knockout rounds of the World Cup. They will be facing Netherlands. Very interesting game. But first, we'll talk about this game. USA came up very strong, very strong. Iran, they just sat back for the first half. Didn't have a shot on goal. USA had 9. Got their goal for Pulisic. Good header and put it into Dest. Good play by Pulisic to get in there. Hopefully he's not too badly injured. He had to go out at half time. Maybe that's just a precaution. But good play by him. And then in the second half, USA could have easily just sat back, went into a low block, allowed Iran to put. And they did that in the final few minutes. Obviously, you're going to do that in the final few minutes. But they still made a game out of it in this second half. They knew Iran doesn't have the quality to get one over them, but they just kind of petered out the game, made it hard for them, didn't allow them any sustained pressure at all, but didn't take the risks that they had to. There's no point in doing that, so that was clever by them. But yeah, good play by the USA. They showed that they can play well, they can work as a team, they have solid tactics and it's actually working. And it showed they've also been adaptable, that they high pressed here, they mid blocked England, they high pressed Wales in the first half, but they got too tired then. They did struggle a bit at the end. If Iran had a bit more quality, maybe they could go at them, but yeah, I like the midfield of Musa, Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie working really well together. And facing Wales, facing Netherlands. You see, what Ecuador and Senegal did to the Netherlands, they just high pressed them, and their energy was too much for them. Netherlands couldn't counter, they don't have that kind of players. And especially that second centre mid spot next to De Jong was very important, because Mr. Orient is so bad on the ball, so bad. And if it's Coop Miners, he's a bit slow. If it's Berghuis, defensively not solid. Like they can be got out Netherlands, and defensively it looked a bit shaky at times against Ecuador and Senegal. So I think what they did against England can work against Netherlands as well, because Netherlands aren't a fast-paced team. If they make the game scrappy, fast-paced, I think they can get through them. They've also got where they've got quality like Gakpo, Depay, that if they make it fast-paced and Netherlands do get through a couple of times, they can punish them, and that's what knockout football is. You can play well for 75, 80 minutes of the game, but the quality of Netherlands can just show through, and they have that. But yeah, the midfield of Musa, Adams and McKennie against like Frankie de Jong, Berghuis, Klaassen, that could be very good. That's a very good midfield battle, and one they can win if they get at them. Very interesting game. They can go through. They can go through. Netherlands are very, very beatable. Very beatable. But they've also just got the quality. They got the know-how. They got the quality. But I like it. Yeah, so I think it'll be a draw at the end of full time, and I think Netherlands will go through on penalties. That's my prediction for this one. If USA showed that against the Iran side that Wales found really tricky, they completely shut them down in the first half, and that was very impressive. Very impressive. And I like the bench options also for USA. Bringing Brendan Eriksson off the bench is really nice, but not bringing Gio Reyna off the bench is a bit, baffling. But it is what it is. What did worry me was that at the end, the game management at the end wasn't great. The amount of times they went on the counter and they just either had a shot or they didn't control the play, they didn't waste a bit of time. But for an inexperienced squad, maybe that's expected. But yeah, very good games today. Looking forward to the knockout games. Tomorrow, Poland, Argentina. I'd say probably Argentina. Hopefully Poland don't do what they did against Mexico and just low block it. Hope they don't. But I think Argentina will probably have a bit more quality for them. Messi looked good at times. Defensively, Argentina looked good, so maybe that's what's going to be going for them. But yeah, I think Argentina will probably win and get knockout stages. Mexico, Saudi Arabia. Mexico looked quite bad this tournament. I think it's probably be a draw, but also Mexico have a bit more quality in their side, so I think it'll be a draw, and I think but Mexico have to go out and win, and Saudi Arabia don't, so we'll see. It'll be a good game as well. Australia, Denmark, I think Denmark will probably have the quality to win this game. They need to win this game because they haven't won yet, and they're facing elimination, being third in the group. And Australia will be fighting for their lives. They'll be fighting after beating Tunisia. And then Tunisia, France, I think obviously France will win that game. So that means that Australia probably don't have to worry about the Tunisia result, really. That's probably a good thing for Australia to think about. They don't have to really worry about Tunisia. If they do, then hold on to Tunisia. And bad play by France, but yeah, France will probably rotate quite a lot, to be fair. So maybe Tunisia can do something if that's a fact. Yeah, I think Denmark will probably win. They'll probably find ways like France did, and I think it'll be France and Denmark going through, and then in the other group, I think it would be Argentina and probably Poland going through as well. Yeah, they're my thoughts. Comment your thoughts, like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow after another set of World Cup games. Bye.